So, welcome to this special segment. I have Vishwaraj with us, and I'm sure some of you have seen him on this channel because he appeared for one of the mock interviews that we had done. And one excellent piece of news that I want to share with all of you is that he has converted IIM Ahmedabad. He has also converted some of the other IIMs. So, in this segment, what we are going to do is we're going to talk to Vishwaraj and understand how he prepared for the CAT, and then how did he prepare for the interviews, what were his interview experiences like, and what are his feelings at this point of time, and what are the future plans and so on. Okay, so let's get started. Vishwaraj, welcome to this interview.
Thank you for having me here, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different, feels very different because the last time I met you, it was like a sort of a stressful situation, I believe, wherein the cameras were focused on you and you had to appear for a mock interview in that situation, which is very stressful. So
Yeah,
good
it was my
good to
first
have you.
experience. It was my first experience sir, on camera, so it was a little bit stressful for me at that point of time.
Okay, and again, congratulations. I mean, excellent that you converted IMA and some of the other IMs as well. So
Thank you, sir.
let's first start with your profile, right? So if you can just help the audience understand what's your background and your work experience has been.
Sure, sir. So I belong to Mumbai, and I am a chemical engineer by background. I had completed my graduation in the year 2020 from NIT Warangal. Post that, I secured a All India rank of 139 in GATE 2020 during my final year of the graduation. And then I was selected for 1 year training program by Baba Atomic Research Center, Mumbai. And post that, I am posted at the Heavy Water Plant Kota under the Department of Atomic Energy of the Indian government since 2021. So this was my technically this was my second attempt of the CAT and my first serious attempt for CAT 2024. And I was able to manage to get all the calls of all the IIMs and as well as FMS Delhi, apart from IIT Bombay. And by today, three results are out: IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and FMS Delhi. And I'm fortunate enough, by God's grace and the team of IMS and other friends and all, that I've managed to convert all the calls, three major calls of my career.
Okay, great. So first things first, right? I mean, you're working with working in a job which a lot of people want to do, right? It's a government job
Yes,
and
sir.
it comes with its own benefits. So
Yes, sir.
when did you decide that you want to do an MBA?
Sir, I decided it in the early 2024 only. By 23, I had known about MBA, but I was not sure. I had not made up my mind at that point of time. But during the 2024, I realized that I wish to pursue like more broader career in management, and also there was some transfer issues which I'm not comfortable with in the government job, the frequent transfer part of it. So I decided that I should go for an MBA after 3 years instead of staying for a technical domain for an entire 30 years. I decided to pursue for MBA from any of the top institution. So I started preparing for the CAT.
Okay, so and you had already cracked GATE, right? Which is again a very competitive exam. So
Yes,
if
sir.
you were to draw parallels between, or if you can you say that your GATE preparation also helped you to some extent in your CAT preparation? And does it help to have prior experience of competitive exams?
To some extent, it does have advantage because while preparing for GATE and also for JEE, we give more emphasis on the previous year question. We learn how to use the previous year questions, how to eliminate unimportant things and focus on the important things and topics. So if we dive deep into the CAT syllabus, it is not accurately defined as of now, the each and every topic. So based on the previous year question papers, we are able to get a fair idea of what we should focus in a limited time per se. So definitely, by drawing some parallel, I have some advantage of preparing for the previous competitive exams.
Okay, and in terms of again background, a lot of students have this question, right? That that in school I didn't do much of, let's say, things like scholarship exams or any
Yes.
competitive exams. So if you look at your background and your school days, were you always into mathematics and competitive exams, or it is something that happened later in your life?
Sir, in mathematics, I was interested from the school days itself. I have been nearly a third ranker in my school, and I was also a good student. It's a consistent student in 12th and graduation. Because of my interest of maths only, I had pursued the entire engineering course. So I did not have any problem from the quantitative side of things, the quants section of the CAT. So basically, I was a good student. Not a good, which I think, a consistent student from the school days only.
Okay, and you mentioned mathematics. So, but what about verbal? Because that is another concern that a lot of engineers and in general also students have, that maybe I'm good at one section but not the other section. So, as an engineer, how did you prepare for the verbal section?
I was try to be regular in reading newspaper, for example, editorials of the Hindu. Most frequently, I was reading the Hindu, and to some extent, sometimes I used to read Indian Express also. Apart from that, the main thing was the previous year question and the mock test. I used to read the passage, try to do it within a limited time. Also, I made some strategies that to increase the accuracy and the number of attempts. There were a means there was a situation where I had to optimize both the number of attempts as well as to increase my accuracy. So mock test helped me a lot over this, and practice of previous year paper, why I am going wrong, and if I am going right, then what was the thought process behind arriving at the answer. Main focus on verbal should be to eliminate the wrong answers, because that is something which we can easily do instead of just focusing on getting the right answer. So I was trying to, giving so many mock tests and practicing, I was able to determine that which statements are extreme and which I can easily eliminate, and where I'm getting confused. And also optimize the number of attempts so that I can think properly and increase my accuracy per attempt. So that was one of the major focus during VRC.
Okay, and when you were taking the actual CAT, did you realize that you were doing very well, that you will be able to get a high score and then eventually all the calls as well? What was going
Sir,
on in your mind when you're taking the test?
in VRC, I was not sure by the time the VRC section had got finished. But in DLR, I had performed a decent. I had lowest percentile in DLR actually. And by the time quants came, I was confident that I can get more than 99 after quants. But only doubt was in verbal. So until the answer sheet came, I was not sure about getting 99. So once the response sheet was out, so after that, I was quite confident that I will be able to get all the calls, because the verbal score, I think it is unpredictable beforehand.
Okay, and going back to your prep a little bit, right? So you mentioned in the
Yes,
beginning
sir.
that this was your second attempt, which is the first serious attempt. Uh, so uh, so then why did you take the first attempt? I mean, what was the rationale? So, and why didn't you prepare that time?
The first attempt was the colleagues and seniors of mine suggested that you should take for the this attempt and see what this exam is. So I just gave it the exam. I had done the elections at the Rajasthan Assembly that time, and next day in the morning I came back home after duty at 5 a.m. in the morning, and I slept for 5 hours and then went for the CAT exam at 12:30. So it was a very non-serious attempt. I was not serious back then. I hadn't even made up my mind. It was just to try and explore that what opportunities that exam holds. So that was just the rationale behind attempting that exam, sir.
And the other thing that again a lot of students have as a concern, right, is if they start
Yes, sir.
working, right, they'll not get enough time to prepare for the CAT. So how was your overall schedule and time management? Because again, you are posted at a different location away from your city.
Yes, sir.
So how did you manage yourself during this entire preparation journey?
So during my weekly off, that is my holidays, I used to give mocks every week, at least one mocks per week during my holidays. And about the online courses and lectures, I used to give around 3 hours. I used to give. I was not able to give more than 3 hours during the work days, but during the holidays, I was able to get 6 to 8 hours during my weekly offs. So, and if I get time, I have to practice some questions in plant and all. I have to revise the quant concepts of. Mostly, I used to practice mathematics in plant on this, because in DLR and verbal, there might be disturbance. I may get some job, and also I cannot focus completely on one set or one para. But quant questions are short; they take 2 3 minutes, so it was easy to practice in the office.
Hmm. Okay. And if you look at again your journey, right? If there's anything that you would want to change about how you prepared for CAT, were there any mistakes that you did? Something that people who are watching this video can learn from? So anything that you think you could have done better?
One thing is that in quants, sir, I should have revised number system. That was a easy concept, low hanging fruit, I should say, because the difficult questions were not asked. But because of my lack of revision, I was not able to do two questions at the time of the examination. So that may have boosted my percentile a bit more. And about DILR was I was facing a difficulty from before. One thing is that I was able to solve the set, but not in the mock test. I was able to solve it after the mock test independently without referring to solutions and all. So I think I should have devoted more time to DLR also.
Okay.
So
Great.
that thing is that things are the revision and consistency. I was able to even break consistency at some part of the time during my prep journey. But if I repeat again, I will not break that consistency, sir.
Okay, I think that's a very useful advice because you have to be consistent no matter what happens, right? Whether your mock scores are
Yes, sir.
great, not great, you don't do well in a particular test, whatever it is, I think you just have to be consistent. So great. Then let's fast forward a little bit and talk about the CAT result. So the CAT result came out and post that all the calls started coming in. So how did
Yes,
you
sir.
prepare for your interviews?
First of all, I enrolled for a GDPI program offered by the IMS. So it was an offline program. I decided that I should move to Mumbai because an offline system would be much better. I can interact physically with people, and also actual interviews are taking place in physical mode. So it was much better instead of just going for complete online courses and mock interviews in the online mode. I should go for an offline course where my even from everything from my dress code to my walking movements, my personality, my expression, my sitting posture, and all can be evaluated by the faculty in a much better manner compared to the online mode. So that was one of my rationale to go for an offline course. So I opted the course at Mumbai in the other location, which was near to my hometown. Not hometown, I mean to say my house in Mumbai. So that was one of the major aspects. And as the call started coming out, the major focus now was shifted to the form filling, the SOP part of it. It was a challenging part because I hadn't filled SOP from last, I think, 4 5 years after getting placements. So IMS definitely helped me a lot. There were sessions of IMS held some sessions for SOP preparation, particularly for IIM Bangalore, where I showed my SOP to the faculty members of the IMS, and I think there was a alumni from top IIM Bangalore itself who was empaneled by the IMS to guide us. So that was definitely a lot of help.
Okay, and let's now talk about your actual experiences. So, how were your experiences? So, if, I know it's difficult to talk about each of them in detail, but just a brief understanding of what happened in, say, the Ahmedabad and Bangalore interviews specifically, because they are the ones that you've converted at this point of time.
Yes, sir. So before going to the actual interview, I had taken some mocks by IMS. So there were two main mocks which I remember. First was you and Girish Khare sir who had taken the mock. That was a bit intense mock. The first intense mock, a bit stressful, not more stressful than Ahmedabad, but it was a first stressful experience. And also one of the faculty members, Nilesh Mitra sir, is there, empaneled by IMS. He was a chemical engineer by background, and he had also taken my mock interview for a half an hour. And that interview had opened my eyes that what all things I can prepare as a chemical engineer, which had definitely helped me a lot, especially in the Bangalore interview as such. So the remaining professors also had given me many valuable insights, which I used in Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and FMS interviews. So the first major interview after Amritsar was the IIM Ahmedabad interview. It was a total stress interview for me because it was a random general knowledge question. Although they asked something about my work ex, but they also asked about Nobel laureates in physics from our neighboring countries and all. So which I was not aware of at that point of time. So I politely said them that I am not aware about it. I will look into it. So there were around 70% questions which I was not able to answer to the Ahmedabad panel because it was random countries capital, the countries of the South America. I had to tell the capital of those countries. And even the other experiences which I heard from the same panel that they were asking five president of the Russia, any five president of Russia. So it was a random GK interview, and it was designed to put stress on me. As I was not able to answer questions, so they were also trying to put a stress on me by putting some taunts that you are not able to answer this also. As a chemical engineer, you should be able to answer this. So somehow I managed it. It went around some 25 minutes, sir. So that was one of the most stressful interview in my entire journey of all the interviews. The most enriching and it was a chill interview and most enriching interview because the I am Bangalore interview I'm talking about because it was for 30 minutes, the maximum time which by any IIM which took the interview, and they touched upon each and every topic which I was new from economics and Reserve Bank of India to the current affairs surrounding to the RBI, and from my background to the second law of thermodynamics and how its application is there in nuclear field. Also, one of the question which you also asked her in the mock interview as well. So, according to this, all the disasters related to the nuclear industries and the general knowledge about my hobbies, about reading books and all. So, and basic statistics, which definitely the lecture which was taken by you on the IMS itself had helped me a lot. It was a simple application-based question of the mean median mode. I may tell the question if you want, wish that. But overall, the sessions of IMS were helpful for me in IIM Bangalore interview especially because all the non-technical related things like statistics and current affairs, which was quite touched upon by the IMS faculties. The economics basics were taught by the IMS lectures as well as the statistics which you have only taken the class, sir. So it definitely helped in IMS, IIM Bangalore interview. And the FMS interview, which was my last interview and the major interview, it was a short interview, pretty decent, like 12 minutes. So it was not nothing much was asked. A short extempore on a topic of circle and why MB and all the questions, which definitely which I had prepared the before and answers by taking some insights from the IMS classes itself. So this was my short interview journey of all the three colleges which I have converted by now.
Okay. And what kind of questions were asked related to your work experience specifically? Because you have a very unique experience.
Yes, sir. So the Ahmedabad people dive deep into technical details of the of my work experience. Especially, they told me to write the nuclear reaction, how the energy, the binding. It was a proper theoretical knowledge which they were testing, and then they shifted it towards the Nobel laureates of the surrounding countries. And as a physicist who had discovered one of the nuclear forces, so they were trying to judge that knowledge. Then they touched upon my college, the places around my college which I have visited, and there were some places which I did not visit also. Then they came towards my location. Since I'm working at Rajasthan, so they started asking me about various places like Jaisalmer and Jaipur in Rajasthan, which I was not able to answer because I'm not much a travel enthusiast. So I had politely said them that sorry, sir, I'm not a travel enthusiast. So after that, they had stopped asking me from that. Then they touched some basic mathematics. They told me to make a graph of exponential of minus x square. So that was one of the graphs which I draw and a curve which I draw and showed to them. Apart from that, they were asking something about soap industry, that industry which I was not involved in. After asking about my work ex, they were trying to judge me on the chemical engineering concepts about distillation and the Macabe-Thiele diagram and all. So they were touching upon my graduation and work ex in a means around 50% interview of the Ahmedabad was surrounded to my graduation and work experience.
So it seems you were asked a lot of random questions. So was it because of some of the things that you said as part of the previous questions response, or it was just purely random that they were asking you?
It was a mix of both because the things that they were trying to ask in Rajasthan, although they were random, but they were asking because I am staying in Rajasthan. I'm working in Rajasthan currently. And also, part in my college, they were asking about the temples and all related to my college in NIT Warangal. So it was related to me, but they were asking about the kingdoms and all, a bit of history and all. I remember, though I was able to correctly answer it, but it was still unexpected question that they will ask about kingdom of 13th century and 12th century. So after that, the questions like capitals of South American countries and all, they were entirely random. So it was not related to anything to my background and all. So it was a mix of both. The soap industry and all, it was a random question which they asked.
So let's now talk about the results. So your results have started coming in now. You already have the converts. So what was your reaction? What was your parents' reaction?
After I am Bangalore interview for, so I was quite satisfied that I was thinking that I should get this interview at least convert because it was the most, I was enjoying the interview actually. I was not able to feel the 30 minutes there. I was wishing that even they asked more questions because they were entirely touching my subjects which I related to me and statistics which I had prepared the basic statistics. So I was quite comfortable in the entire Bangalore interview. So I was hoping that I will get that interview converted. But the shock of the IIM Ahmedabad, which was the first interview, it was a shock because I wasn't expecting a direct convert in IIM Ahmedabad because I was thinking that it was the most stressful interview. The 25 minutes was seeming like a more longer time. I was thinking it has happened for 35 minutes, I think. But they had even put the timer there, which they were showing the candidates also that we have taken for you for around 25 minutes. So that was a pretty strict interview actually. And yes, Ahmedabad, I was not expecting the direct convert. And FMS, I was not able to tell after interview that they may or may not take. It was a decent interview. So only thing I was expecting beforehand is the IIM Bangalore convert, which I eventually got it. But yes, sir, Ahmedabad was quite a surprise. I was not able to believe it for around 10-15 minutes. I checked from laptop also after checking from mobile. Then the mail came after an hour. Then I was quite satisfied, and then I announced it to my family and other friends that got IIM Ahmedabad converted, one of the top business school and my dream business school also.
Okay. And so what's the plan now? So, of course, MBA, now you're going to join one of the top business schools in India. And what's the plan from there on? So, again, I'm not going to ask you the mock interview question, which is where do you see yourself 5 years down the line?
Yes.
But broadly, what is the plan that you have in mind?
So broadly, I was having a good confusion between Ahmedabad and Bangalore only. So I've decided to pursue my MBA from IIM Ahmedabad only for 25 to 27 PGP program. Post MBA, wish to pursue a career either as a management consultant or in a general management. This will be my first choice, either a general management role or a consultant role. And then the second choice would be finance, followed by marketing and HR roles. So I wish to go to general management and consulting because I have a background of work ex also. So I think that would be much better suited to me, and I would get to learn about all the subjects in these two areas itself. Instead of just focusing on a single area, I wish to explore all the domains of management. And after that, I may change my mind. But right now, I am sure for this two field only.
Okay. Last thing, any tips for students who are watching this? Because now everybody who's watching this is preparing for CAT 25. Some of them may be preparing for CAT 26. So what's your advice to these students?
Sir, for especially for CAT exam, there is two things that a candidate must keep in mind. First is consistency, and second is belief. These two are very important for getting more or desired score, whatever it might be in CAT examination. The consistency, because if you start skipping, if you have a major gap in the preparation, you will be out of practice and you will not be able to solve the question within time. To get all the answers within time, you have to be consistent in your practice. Although the concepts may be a bit difficult to grasp, but if you regularly practice it at a time of exam, it will be like a free flowing for you. You see the question, you will be immediately able to develop an approach in your mind that I have to proceed in this way only. And immediately you will start solving the question without wasting much time and thinking much time about it. So this definitely consistency of practice, which is there in consistency only. So we have to be disciplined or consistent in our practice. And second is belief, because mock scores, sir, they are highly unpredictable. You may get a very high score in some mocks, which would make you more enthusiastic. Or sometimes you would get just 70 percentile, 50 percentile in some mocks. I was able to get even a single digit score in some of my mocks. So that would definitely make you feel dejected that this exam is not for me. I will not be able to compete with the top people and all. These feelings are normal, and it comes to almost, I think, at least it came to me, and I think it would come to all the aspirants also. So at that time, the self belief in yourself would work, which would help you, which would drive you towards consistent preparation, and will definitely might result in a success if the efforts are in the right direction. So these are the two major tips that aspirants should keep in mind.
Yeah, I think those are very valuable inputs because, as you said, consistency and belief, if you have these two things going for you, something or the other will work out, right? I mean, a lot of things are beyond our control. We don't know exactly how things are going to turn out. But if
Yes,
we
sir.
just keep doing things, and I'm sure for everybody who's watching this also, things will fall in place sooner or later.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
thank you so much for taking out time. I know at this point of time you must be thinking of, okay, what is the next thing for me in terms of getting myself ready for that entire B school experience. So thanks for taking out time and helping all the students. I'm sure they have found it useful. And for students, in case you have not watched his interview, please make sure that you watch it. It's there on the channel. Any last minute thoughts from your end before we close it?
Thank you for having me on your platform. It was my pleasure to be a part of the IMS team. Last tip is that in the interview, I was not bit prepared. It was very early stages. After the guidance from you and all, I have definitely improved much. Having a much improvement at the actual interview from the part when I was having the mock interview. It was the early January, I think, in the month of January. So it was just my starting period. So I may not be that. Good or cool, which feedback, which you had valuable feedback, which the team had provided. I implemented later on in my actual interview. But yes, the candidates can watch and learn the types of question and how the stress and all works in the actual environment. Definitely, it would provide some insights to the candidates.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Vishwaraj, once again, and all the best to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.